Let's talk about Star Wars Episode 9. Now, I believe that this film will close many doors, but I think it will open even more. In this video, I want to talk about Rey and the fact that she will be a beacon for new and old Jedi. Now, who might we see show up alongside Rey, and what might this mean for the future of Star Wars movies? Well, we're breaking all of that down right now. What is up, everybody? My name is Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. If you love Star Wars the way I do, subscribe to this channel. We crank out a ton of Star Wars videos over here, especially on Star Wars Sundays. Oh, and for all my usual subscribers, once again, I apologize about the weird setting. I'm on vacation. I think this is the last video, maybe, where I'm on vacation. So we'll be back to normal very, very soon. All right, so let's talk about Rey and Luke Skywalker. Now, the last scene of The Last Jedi is a very important scene. Rian Johnson has described this as letting the audience know that Luke Skywalker has once again reached his mythic status. And so the story that the universe is being told about Luke is that he showed up and saved the Resistance. He faced down the entire First Order, giving the Resistance and his apprentice enough time to escape. Now look, I truly believe that the way this story is going to be told is that Rey was the last student of Skywalker, and that she's now the last Jedi who was trained by Master Skywalker. And from a certain point of view, that is indeed the case. I mean, she shows up to the First Order, has that epic fight with Kylo Ren, but even Kylo tells everyone that she's the one that destroyed Snoke. And so I think that the galaxy is going to think that as well. And the fact that she rescues the First Order while Skywalker is there, I mean, if people put two and two together, they're going to believe that that was a joint effort and that Rey was the last student of Luke Skywalker. So that's very interesting in and of itself. It definitely implies that a lot of people will be seeking her out. But what else is very interesting about this is that Rey took the sacred Jedi text from Ahch-To. This really implies that she always wanted to pass on the knowledge to further her own knowledge and to teach other Jedi the ways of the Force. Now, quickly, I have to speak about the leaked storyboards that were out there. There were some of them that suggest that Rey is going to be sought out as a beacon by many Force users, young and old. They're going to seek her out for protection. And although the storyboards have to be taken with a grain of salt, I do believe this lines up for a couple of different reasons. Number one, we know that Rey is a prodigy within the Force, and she's really like a conduit for the light side. She's really this beacon of light side energy. We know that in Jason Fry's The Last Jedi novelization, when Luke taps back into the Force, he sees Rey as this bright and beautiful glowing presence within the Force, almost too bright. And this really lines up with a number of different things. We think that Rey is a conduit for the light side and is just basically the light side itself, evening out the scales against Kylo Ren. This is echoed by something Luke says: powerful darkness, powerful light. Snoke suggests this: darkness rises and the light to meet it. The two of them are bonded together, and therefore Rey is this incredible beacon of the light side. And so any Jedi that had some kind of proficiency with tapping into the Force would sense her, would feel her, and probably would search her out. But on top of that, anybody who shows any kind of inkling to the Force, even if they're very untrained and they don't have any mastery whatsoever, they would probably seek her out simply because of the story of her being the last apprentice of Luke Skywalker and the person that struck down Supreme Leader Snoke. I mean, she's already stood up and defeated Kylo Ren once in battle, and if Kylo Ren is indeed going out there finding Force users himself, which is another thing from the leaks and honestly just a logical conclusion. I mean, he's probably going to be trying to do the same thing she is, but if he's doing that and scaring people, who's the one person in the galaxy they would probably seek out? Yeah, it would be Rey. Now, there's one more reason I think this is going to happen. It has nothing to do with the canon, but I think Disney for a long time has been looking for a way to get back to a place within their canon where there are a ton of Jedi, a ton of dark side users, either the Knights of Ren or Sith, and there's a ton of lightsabers. I mean, it makes so much sense. They would make a lot more money selling those kind of toys. I think it's just a better place to tell stories in, and I feel like this current saga was sort of passing the baton from the OGs to this new group that then will pass it on again, and we'll have a new galaxy where there's just a ton of lightsabers and a ton of Force users. Or at least I hope there will be. Now, my greatest hope for this and my fanboyish wish is that we will see Ahsoka Tano and Ezra Bridger. I mean, they would be pretty old at that point, or at least Ahsoka would be, but we really don't know how old people of her race can actually live to. So if it's anything like Yoda and she can live for hundreds and hundreds of years, it would completely line up. And I think that would be very, very important. There's also some parts of the leaks for episode 9 that suggest we'll be going to the unknown regions, and we know, of course, that Ezra Bridger and Thrawn leave together with the Purrgil and go out seemingly to maybe the unknown regions. Either way, there's a lot of rumors that Thrawn will be in the film too, and if he is, I expect Ezra Bridger to be pretty close by. So it would be very cool for Rey to interact with Ahsoka and Ezra, and just in general, I think she's going to interact with more older Jedi. We might even see some prequel era Jedi that somehow survived Order 66, maybe had been in exile waiting. This is now their moment. They see her within the Force and they realize they can come back. Maybe we get a one-armed Mace Windu. He's been hiding out. That would be absolutely fantastic. I think we'll get a Force Ghost Luke, and I think we'll get the Force Ghost Yoda. There's a big rumor we'll get Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. And overall, I'm hoping to see some of these older people because, as JJ said, he and Chris Terrio are trying to combine all 9 films together. I think it would be a great way to do that, to bring some of the spirits back, some of the older Jedi back, tie it all together. And besides all of that, Rey still needs a lot of training. She may well be the most powerful Jedi we've ever seen. She may well be this prodigy, this weird thing that the Force has sort of created. But even with all of that, her knowledge of the Force is limited. If she is to continue the Jedi Order, she will need help, not just from the text, but I believe from other masters. Considering what Ahsoka has seen and that white gown that she's in at the end of Rebels, we have to believe that she's tapped into some kind of really higher knowledge when it comes to the Force. And of course, Ezra was the one person that could open the temple to the space between spaces and the time-watching area of the cosmic Force. So Ezra has his gifts as well. So it would be amazing if we got to a place in this new Star Wars canon where all of these characters are together and they are rebuilding the Jedi Order. And so that's kind of my thoughts. I think it would be absolutely incredible. I'm really hoping this is the way we go, and I'd love to see Ahsoka and Ezra in the film as well. So let me know what all of you think about that, and tell me what your hopes are for episode 9 in the comment section below. Now I want to shout out Wallace Tillery, who got the nerd card question correct in my most recent Captain Marvel video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Marvel Comics, so shout out to you, Wallace. We're going to go ahead and do another nerd card question right now. The question is, what is the name of the light and the dark side that the Bendu uses when he is speaking to Kanan Jarrus? This hails from an old extended universe Rise of the Jedi books, in which there were 2 moons surrounding Typhon, one dark and one light. So the question remains, what are the names of those 2 moons and the light and the dark side, the way that the Bendu speaks them? Answer that question in the comment section below. You can click below to watch more dope videos, or you can click our icon to subscribe to get all of our future content. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.